remember going to her pop-up at Bar del Corso, and I was just blown away to see Filipino food plated like that, and then seeing the crowd, mostly Filipinos, and even other folks from different cultures being so in love with the food. Um, so obviously it had to happen in Beacon Hill, and yeah, that's it. Like, it just had to happen. Like, we needed to represent, and we were at that cusp of like people really recognizing what Filipino food is. Like, we're starting to get press about it on Food Network. People are making like adobo or sitting on it, whatever. And yeah, what's homeboy's name? Andrew Zimmerman was like, Filipino food's gonna be the next big thing, and yeah, it just had to happen. And then we had Amy Bessa and Romy come to town and really school us on a lot of Philippine ingredients, and we got to work with her team. And at the time, I didn't really know how big of a deal it was, but like, I was just reminiscing about it the other day, and I was like, that was a big deal to be able to kind of like get direct connect from the Philippines and its ingredients and be brought here, and work with Filipino chefs too, like rap. And I was just like, wow. So we really need to make this happen. And now, like, look at it. We got Archipelago. We got Chibog's opening up soon. Musang holding it down. Musang is a very like unique place. I've never worked in a place where I'm actually super close with everybody. A lot of support coming from within as well, because that's bizarre to find in a restaurant setting, So Musang kind of like became its new thing. It's not your typical restaurant. We were reaching during COVID. We reached out to the community and fed the community, whoever needed the food, without taking any reimbursement for it. Like, who does that? Like, the care that Musang has for its people and the community has been like eye-opening. Like, oh, we can actually operate a restaurant in this way where we care for our employees, where we care for our community, and we want to build from the ground up, and not just like get someone from here, get someone from there, and bring them in, and then it was very authentic. I think we all wanted the same thing. Like, we wanted Filipino food to pop off. We wanted to be able to be compared to the heavy hitters, like, and like, to showcase our food in that light was a communal goal. And when you bring talented people like that all in one room, then it's bound to happen. Like, people who are fired up and love to cook and love to serve and really have a special place for Filipino food in their own hearts. It's just bound to happen. And I think that's what's happening at Musang now. We were passionately driven, and we want to do our best to represent, Philippines and Filipino food, because that's ours. We all have a very big mutual respect for one another. Obviously, like, there's always like, oh, this is my background, this is what I'm good at, da 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 da. But at the end of the day, it's not really about our individual like being. It's more of like, how can we make the Musang experience, like, how can we make that unforgettable, and how can we make an impact on our guests? And with Melissa, like if you know her, she's has the biggest heart, like she loves to care for people, loves to make sure that they're in good place at any given time. So generous, and I think it just highlights that Filipino trait, like hospitality. Like we want you to feel at home, and we want you to have a good time. In regards of our team, I feel like that's a very prevalent thing where like we're all coming from hospitality backgrounds. We all worked in shitty restaurants and shitty leadership, and so I think everyone just wanted a place that is supportive, a place that's expressive, and a place that can kind of like nurture us. And yeah, I think, with that team being very talented and hardworking and always willing, it was just, nature's course. Mel is so weird, but because you don't meet people like her. She was always ready to invest in you, always so generous, always had a big heart, always like looked out for you, even outside of the kitchen, outside of your professional realm. She became a real close friend and a coach. She gave me the opportunity to learn how to be a leader and how to kind of like manage a team and how to go about your day in a restaurant, professionally. And then also learn about how to take care of yourself, know when to take time off, know when to take vacation, and knowing when to ask for help too. Yeah. If you know Mel, you know what's up. Yeah. Beautiful person. Jonah is my besh. Joe, just super talented and insanely loud and so energetic. I'm pretty sure she has a really good shot at becoming like a pop singer. If she wasn't cooking, like that could be like a thing, I would fully back that. No, Joe to me is like my window to the Philippines. She came here when she was in college, did it all on her own, and like really like worked hard for it. She's a very inspiring person to be around, and she really pushes me to be better because she works like 10 times harder than the rest of all of us. She's a great example. And since I work with her day to day, and we're always the ones closing up or doing the nitty gritty, and yeah, I wouldn't have anybody else. Like Joe is a huge push to greatness for me. I feel like just because knowing her background and what she had to do to get to here to where she's at now. Yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with, like, and yeah, Energizer Bennett with a microphone. I took my mom out. I think 2021 when we started opening up again for public, and she was really stoked. I remember we had the pampano and we had the arroz, and yeah, I think she was really proud that I was there and doing Filipino food. I mean, now she understands why I want to do this. Like, she's no longer pushing me to do other things, and I think me being so hard-headed, she finally saw that I actually really want to do this, and that I have somewhat of talent to be working in the kitchen, and yeah, she knows my goals. She knows that I want to open up my own spot back home in the Philippines, and And I think she's finally realized like this is what I want to do, and I'm sticking with it. She would see like YouTube videos about Musang, because I would show my nephew or my niece and nephew, and then they would show their Lola, and my mom would see it, and then boom, she was like, "Oh, that's you." She would start telling her friends about it, writing on Facebook. I knew that I wanted to always go back to the Philippines, but the reality of like making it into a restaurant, doing business there, I would say it's like a 7-year-old goal. Like it started. So I guess it's been in my mind for a while. I just want to be back home is what it is. I just miss the kindness of the people. With all the stuff going in here. I mean, goes without question, Philippines has its own set of problems, right? But so does here. And I don't know. I want to be able to kind of like shake the industry up there and like, hey, this is a viable option. Like, you can be a chef in the Philippines and be good. I want to be able to take my team, pay them properly. You know, they don't have to work 7 days a week, no breaks, 15-hour days type, you know, because that's what my cousins are doing right now. And still not making money. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know that I want to be able to value their time and kind of like teach that into the young people. And then maybe in turn, later down the road, probably not even my timeline, things would kind of shift. Like, hey, let's invest in our workers and support them. And maybe in turn, we can have, I don't know, better research in our food or better experience for our guests. And it's not like, I don't know, it's not just you're not doing things out of your own selfish needs, you know? And I feel like that's what I'm learning with Mel too. I went to Toyo Eatery in Makati, and I was blown away because they were doing like amazing food, and they're using Philippine ingredients, and the team was so talented, and it was just beautiful. Like, I want to be something like that. I don't think fine dining is my thing, but to be able to build a culture like that, the chefs at Toyo actually knew about Mel. So I was like super stoked on that. And those in that realm of professional, like whatever, understands what Musang is doing, and yeah, I would say, I don't want to sound like I'm like bragging or anything, no, you know, but we put in our work and we've worked super hard, and we've always put Philippines as, you know, this is where we draw our inspiration, and our personal lives, even like stories from our home, what we grew up eating, even just the simple things, you know, and highlighting that in what we serve. And I think people are seeing that. One of my favorite things is when Mel's parents come, and it just makes it feel like I'm home, you know. When pops and moms comes around, they're like bugging you while it's funny. Like in the moment, I'm like, I'm busy, like stop messing with me. But like when I think about it, I just always laugh, and it's just like, that's so Filipino, you know. Like they're in the kitchen making jokes, having a beer. Yeah, it's just a good time. They're great people to be to be around, and they always make me laugh. And it makes it special, you know. There's a lot of young, talented folks in the Philippines that are doing amazing things, and I know it's low key. I want to be part of that, and then I want to be back home. I want to be able to open something up and help my family out. And I don't want to be here, man. I don't want to be here in the States, and that's the plain truth. I just really miss it back home. Um, my last visit, I got to eat mangoes from my yard, like for the first time. Mangoes the size of your head, like blown away.